Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randall Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts.
Is
All
it
right,
going?
you ready?
Are we going?
Yes.
It's recording.
Yes.
Great. Welcome, everybody.
Why are you leaning so much?
I think there's going to be another welcome when the episode starts.
Yeah, can we just...
So this is recorded after the fact, obviously. But we wanted to do a couple of housekeeping things before the episode. So I wanted to first give a big shout out to Jen Fackler.
Yes, she is rappelling down a building in, what is it, Tupelo?
In Ohio.
In Ohio.
It's 1,000 stories.
It's like 16 stories, I think, to raise money for charity for cancer, for a cancer center in their city. So it's called Over the Edge for Victory. And we have donated some money. We're going to put the link to help for anyone that's listening to donate money in our show notes. And she's also she's like at Jen Fackler on Twitter, at Jen_Fackler.
Yeah,
something like that.
Her husband Chad is at Super Listener Chad or something.
Oh, she's at Jen Fackler, JenFackler on Twitter. And I'm also putting the link directly to her page to donate. And we are always in support of some cancer research and all that shit. And they do something similar in Atlanta. So it's a pretty cool charity event. And if you're in the Ohio, I think it's Tupelo, I want to say, area, then you can also sign up to rappel down the building with her if you want. So check that out. And I don't know what you look like you're sniffing your microphone or making out with it.
No, I'm waiting for my chance to add to your
All right, go.
piece.
What do you want?
Well, my piece is going to be that the Facklers do a lot for independent podcasting. So
Yes.
they listen to every show on earth. They're great supporters. And so they're also doing something awesome and a great cause. So support them if you can. Throw her a few bucks. And it's pretty cool because she dives off the edge of those buildings like a superhero.
Yep.
Now, also, hopefully everyone had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
And took some time to reflect and honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for our
Toledo.
freedoms.
Sorry, not Tupelo. I
Yeah,
can't.
Tupelo is Mississippi.
I know, and I knew that sounded wrong. Toledo. God, I'm an idiot. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
But yes, I hope you took a little time to reflect and just think about the importance of that day. Definitely celebrate, because you want to celebrate the lives of those guys. You don't, and women that died for our country, because there is no greater sacrifice. So we took part and honored some people close to our family that we've gotten to know over the time, and that is Jason Estopanol and Adrian Mills from here in Georgia, two local.
Yeah, well, we know Jason Estopanol's family now.
Yes.
Claire and Jason, his parents, who are the nicest folks in the world. And then Adrian Mills was, they called him JJ, was JJ's friend. And then we also go stop by Skip Wells' gravesite as well and pay our respects.
Yep, and we've done that for a few years now. It's kind of a tradition.
I think it was
for
the
our
third year.
boys. Yeah, third or fourth. I think you're right, probably three.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't want to beat on that, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it and had a great Memorial Day weekend. As to this episode, we're not saying shit.
Yeah, we came in here to do an intro just to not tell you anything about what the show is.
You got to figure it out for yourself. What do you think it is? Or who do you think it is? We don't know.
We don't. Okay.
We
Sure.
have no idea. So if you're still listening at this point, maybe you'll find out.
This riveting intro. Yeah. So regardless of whether you know what the hell is about to happen, we had a good time. It was.
I thought it was awesome.
It was great. We recorded it the night that our air conditioner was not working properly. Well, we had just gotten it to where it was starting to work again before we
thick of the heat, though.
Yeah, but it was a solid 80 something degrees in here.
Violently angry.
Violently angry. Nothing makes the Fowlers more angry than having a hot house.
Well, except for one thing. I'm glad you brought this up because today I officially got my ass handed to me by my 14-year-old son. I'm sure this happens to every dad that's a champion. And eventually, your son whoops that ass. And I gave my son his first full force one-on-one basketball game. Like, you know, I'm not going to take it easy on you. I'm not going to let you win. I'm bringing the Thunderdome, and we're going to see what happens. I lost 11-1, and I tore my leg off.
Was he taking it easy on you, maybe?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't let him. And he's not, and he shouldn't, and I don't want him to. He would have throttled me until the cows come home. I was useless after I ripped my leg off, but that's no excuse. He was going to beat me anyway. Basketball.
Again, basketball was never your game.
But again, it's the pure athletic part of it.
Right.
I was beating on him in the post before I hurt my leg. He's solid.
I
He
know
used
what
to
I'm
be
saying.
nothing. Like I used to be able to push him over. I'm backing him into the paint, and he's taking it. So it's great though. I mean, as much as I'm harping on it, it's
When was the last time you played him, though?
long time, but
Right.
not ever, never full. And you want your boys to be better than you, and your girls. I'm sure I just don't have any girls, but so it's a good thing. It's not a negative thing. I'm happy about it. And then Gunner's gonna come along and whoop my ass even earlier because I'm deteriorating. So I'll be, taking his ass whipping when he's like 10 at this rate, which is fine. But it
You never know.
I think it's a time of reflection. You realize that you're not the big dick bandit anymore.
You still are.
Well, of course. But anyway, I thought it was funny, and I enjoyed it as much as I'm injured now.
And now
I
he's
had a great
limping
day.
like his leg was cut off.
Yes. Well, I'm clearly injured. You saw the proof. I've got a bruise.
You have a bruise, which means we might need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, I don't bruise, so
I think there might be torn ligaments or something in there.
Yeah, and to Ariana, I've kind of been taking your advice. What I wanted to give you an update. I've been filling up my water bottle in the morning. It's like a 32 ouncer. It's in my gym bag. You see me fill it every morning when I fill up my shaker
I always
cup.
think you're doing your pre-workout.
No, it's two things. I have my pre-workout and I have my 1 gallon thing.
Sure.
I fill it up. Here's my routine. I drink my pre-workout on the way to take Gunner to school. Then I go to the gym, straight from there, go to my office in the bathroom. I do some paperwork. When I come out of my office, I chug that 32 ounces of water in front of the mirror and look at my abs. I drink it about 3/4 of the way.
You
think,
terrible.
but I'm telling the truth. I drink
know
it
you
about
are.
3/4 of the way done, work out, and finish the other 1/4. So while it's not the first thing I drink, I do drink it before I drink a real soda.
You layered it in. So while you're working out, you're not walking around with a drinky poo sipping on a Mountain Dew the whole time.
I can't take it in LA Fitness. That was only
Always have been.
at Fitness 19, never in LA Fitness.
Oh, okay. Wow. You have to leave your drinky poo in the
Drinkers
truck.
in the truck.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I ever noticed that.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
okay.
kind of,
It's real.
So there you go. All right, we'll let you guys get on to this mystery thing to see if we do or don't have a guest that you've not been told about. We don't know.
I still don't know what, why, how.
Say a prayer for my leg. It's falling off.
Okay.
Good day.
I'll start recording now so that we're just good to go.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Man, what a day, brother. We got fucked. Brand new house and HVAC stopped. We came home from the pool and our shit was like 84 degrees inside.
What the fuck? That's not how you want to come home from the pool, man.
No, not. That's the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, so needless to say, I was irritated and so was Brooke.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, baby, you got burned.
I know. I did because I took like a solid room temperature water shower, like little on the cold side, and yeah, when I got out, I was like, oh yeah, I am a little crispy.
Well, cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do we got the music preset, so I'm just going to intro us and we'll start.
Yeah.
We're just recording you can record too if you want, but we won't need it.
You sure it'll come in clear and everything? I mean, I can record my end. I've got it set up to record my end anyways, and I can send it to you, whatever you want to do. I mean, that way I got an SD recorder that I record to, so.
Yeah, you can to be safe, but you sound great. Like it sounds. If
you want to do that, just and then if it's
as a
better,
backup.
yeah,
if we need it.
it's always good to have backups.
All right, here we go.
All right, I'm recording mine now then.
Cool.
Perfect.
Well, everybody, welcome back to Married AF. You know us. I'm Randall, and I have Brooke here, my lovely wife. You know her, and we have a special guest tonight. No one knows this shit. We haven't said a word about it. We have Anthony here from Who's Right Podcast. What about that? Nobody saw that coming.
Take that.
What about that?
Yeah, what the fuck? How in the world? We haven't said a word about it. I don't know if you have. I don't think you have.
Nope.
No
I
one
didn't
has.
I didn't even tell Doug.
Nice.
Oh no.
That's going to be great. Just to see how that works out. But I wanted to tell you, Doug's episode freaking killed it. We got so much. You guys got a lot of fans that are
I don't know what my problem is.
fucking savages that actually reached out and enjoyed the show. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would think that y'all's fans would be like a little nastier, but they were nice. They had good things to say.
Nasty.
Just because I'm an asshole doesn't mean all our fans are.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we've talked about it, and I've talked about it pretty openly on the show, and Brooke's a lot easier than me. She takes everything with a grain of salt. Doesn't really give a shit about nothing. I try to, like, figure things out, and that's what got me so murked with your guys' show. Like, that's what's got me so deep in it, is just when I think, like, oh, I've got it. It started off, I remember when I first started listening, I was like, okay, you got Doug, he brings up a topic, and Anthony is the contrarian. That's just but then that changes sometimes. Then you guys agree.
Now you sound like my dad. That statement right there. Anthony is the contrarian. That sounds exactly like something my dad would say.
Well, yeah, Randall says it to me all the time too, by the way.
Yeah, but you guys now doing that answering that listener question of ours. Yeah. That shit was hilarious. I don't know if that was as fun for y'all. We laughed our asses off. But when you just tried to take the contrarian and be like, well, maybe, hang on. So why can't you not ever talk to your wife for 3 months? And I was like, how the hell is he kidding? And then you finally broke. You were like, I can't even do this shit.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
But maybe it's not over.
I know. Why can't the same happen with your wife? Just not talk to her for 3 months and then everything's cool, right?
Everything's cool. Don't worry about it.
Why can't it be like that?
I've been married for long enough to know that I know that's not cool.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to be married very long to know that's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of questions.
Did you take yours already?
Yeah, I took half. Let's go ahead and take it. We're going to take a shot. This is to Anthony coming on the show out of nowhere and keeping it a secret. I'm terrible at that. All right, so...
I didn't even make a mess.
No, you didn't. That's great.
What?
So, shit, I lost my train of thought. I had my own question. What was I saying?
Didn't...
Oh, no, I got it. So, is that real that you don't really listen to many podcasts? Because I believe that. Like, it seems like you don't really listen to many.
Nope, not at all. I listen to Joe Rogan sometimes. I listen to a podcast called The Fifth Column, which is a political podcast. And every once in a while, I'll listen to Last Podcast on the Left.
So
I love Last Podcast on the Left.
Yeah, Brooke's a huge fan of that show. So do you think maybe that's why some people give you a rap of like, it gets you out of the circle jerk that is independent podcasting? Because you have an exit. Like you can legitimately be like, man, I don't know nothing about that dumb shit. You know, like when there's a dumb beef or some bullshit.
I'm not trying to put on an act here. I legitimately, not only do I not know, I'm an antisocial person in the nicest way. I'm not trying to be mean about it. I genuinely don't like people.
No, I believe it. I believe that. Like I've believed it from the jump. When the first time I heard you say, I don't even listen to podcasts. Usually I'm like, that's bullshit. With you, I was like, I don't think he does. I don't think he listens to any of our asses. When Doug's talking about who said what on what show, and you sound like lost. You know, you're like, what the hell? I don't know. I don't care. Yeah. I don't think that makes you a dick. Like, but some people in our little circle jerk of podcast friends, that could hurt their feelings. You know, like, oh, he doesn't listen to our shows.
You know what? If you, God, I didn't want to go down this road. If you want me to listen to your show, do better. If it's that important to you that I listen to your show, which it shouldn't be in the first place, because who the fuck am I?
Sure.
But if that's important to you, well, I guess there's two ways. You can make a better show, or you can pay me and I'll listen, I guess.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like that.
That's totally fair. I don't know where the thing comes from, but I am interested in, we talked to Doug, and I was saying to Doug, why does Anthony think I don't like him? And then Doug tried to...
That's all I was just fucking around. I never even had any interaction with you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like... But I also got it, the way Doug explained it, that some people just assume you hate them.
Right.
Because it's easier
like Amanda. I mean, and I told you, I was like, you're falling into the trap. It's like Amanda was like, please like me. I'm like, babe, that's like, don't you get it? Like...
Yeah. Well, of course, and I'm a sensitive
He's
bitch.
playing you like just like you played a bunch of girls in high school, probably on like I'm just not gonna pay attention to you.
No,
you're gonna think I don't like you.
I've always been like a sensitive bear. Like with Anthony, I was like, I swear, there's nothing that's ever. I've never said a word about Anthony that's bad, but I'm so much a mark in this group thing of people. That I'm like, I wonder if somebody told him something that's not true. You know, like has somebody told him that
Who are you gossiping with?
Yeah,
Anthony?
I just didn't know.
Just Doug.
So I've noticed that you're a big dude, and I've also noticed just from lurking around that people comment on you being a big dude, right?
Yeah, sure.
So my take was, look at him. I don't want nothing to do with him. You know what I mean? Like that was my take. Like, fucking, I can just tell by looking at him. That was my take because.
Totally.
That's kind of where everybody went, and me and you literally had never had an interaction at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah, and that's
and to me, in my stupid, fucked up way, that's funny.
It is funny.
It's funny to me.
It is funny. Do you ever feel like sometimes, though, your blunt honesty, because whether or not something is a bit or not, I don't even care, and I know that y'all have your own criteria around that, but do you ever think that your demeanor makes people think that you're making shit up when you're not? Because I think that happens. Like it makes you even more valuable.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So not only, I was going to say not only, but I guess it plays all into it. I am very socially awkward. If there's a group of 2, 3, 4 people, I just kind of slink out. I'm out. I got no social skills whatsoever, which plays into the fact why I pretend like I don't like people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know what's. I don't want to say proper. I don't know what's good and bad as far as how I should. All I know is I just say shit.
Yeah.
I just say stupid shit and just. It gets a laugh, and you know what I mean. I don't know.
Well,
I don't even know how to explain it, man.
No, I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's totally fair. And I, as a listener of y'all's show and a fan of the show, I just have to accept that and stop trying to look further. You know what I mean? Like, that's on me. As a listener, I've just got to accept what is. But
there's no depth.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beauty of y'all's show. That's why I like it. You'd never know. Like, who knows, really on everything. But I want to know, because I asked Doug the same question, is when you guys have had your arguments, and somebody posted on Twitter that, Doug and Anthony, all they ever talk about is quitting their show.
I love that, though. Well, this is the last show.
But I've never once heard you ever give a shit. Like, when Doug's like, all right, this is the last show. Like, I've never felt like you got emotional or sentimental. You're just like, all right, are we really? Are we really like, okay, so we're done. It's almost like you're dead inside, but that goes to your social, I guess,
It's not
awkwardness or genius, however you want to put it.
Oh, wait. We lost you, Anthony.
What's that?
Oh, wait. There you go.
No, there you go.
Huh. Weird.
Am I there? Am I there?
Yeah, we had like
you're here. Did you hear my
Had a
question?
we had a gremlin. Yeah, no, he was answering
Yeah,
you.
no, I heard you. I don't think it's a matter of like you said, being dead inside. I just if it's over, it's I'm definitely not gonna be like, hey, no, please.
Yeah, you've definitely never done that.
Oh, and then
Because if I have to, at any point, if I have to convince him to keep doing the show, well, then it just won't be the same. If he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it, And I think he feels the same. If I didn't want to do it, it wouldn't be the same show. And I'm just not interested. I don't like podcasts in general enough to do a show that I'm not having fun doing.
No, that's fair. Totally.
yeah.
But we did ask Doug, to his credit. We had 2 listener questions submitted for Doug, basically trying to get him to shit all over you, and he never did.
No.
He never did. I'm sure, I don't know if you listened to that episode or not, just to hear what it was about. But
I did.
He never threw you under the bus. I was actually shocked.
Did you want to give me the opportunity?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's where I was going is if somebody said, Anthony, we'd rather you do a show with somebody else, could you duplicate y'all's chemistry?
No. So as much shit as I give Doug for saying that he carries the show and all that, he does. and I know that as much as everybody else does, right? I know that I have almost zero social skills. So there's not another person that could tolerate me enough, first of all, to do a show with me on a regular basis. Second of all, there's not another person that understands where I'm coming from as far as my sense of humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird because I swear to God, if Doug was a woman, me and my wife would have probably got divorced by now.
Oh, I could see that.
Is that a bad thing to say?
No, I could totally see that. There's
I feel like Doug's going to hang that over your head, though.
yeah.
For eternity.
Sure. That was going to be
As if he doesn't have enough, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like he gets my sense of humor, and I'll just say something stupid and he'll just let it slide or whatever.
But so is there a little bit though of, and I don't want to say taking advantage of your willingness to, be genuine about your, like, what you said, to use your words, like lack of social skills or lack of filter, where you're willing to say something controversial, and Doug will, of course, being a good host, when you do slip or not slip and say something that's pretty controversial, he doesn't like push it under the rug. He steps on its throat.
Oh yeah.
And
if he didn't, I would be pissed. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, that's my question.
Yeah. So you're framing it as him taking advantage, I guess.
No, I think he's being. I think it's smart, for as far as a good show. But like when you guys started talking about, and this was a while back, you may not even remember, but he was talking about that time where I said he was virtue signaling. I don't know if you remember that. And it got to the Detroit and the water and everything, and you were pretty much agreeing with my point, is that everyone virtue signals on all social media. That's all we do, because no one's going to really do shit, but we want to say we will.
Right.
And so he was able to kind of turn that on. So Anthony, you don't think and then he ended up agreeing with us in the end, but that's more of what I'm talking about. How he'll let you kind of take the heat for a minute, which is smart, but are you okay with that? I guess is my question.
It comes and goes, because it's rough to think that I'm the bad guy, basically, of our show, and that's kind of how it plays out. Like, he's the straight man and I'm the asshole. You know what I mean? But if you knew me in real life, I mean, I kind of really am an asshole, sort of. I mean, my wife tells me that. She says she tells me that I'm an asshole without even really realizing that I'm an asshole, because the way that I talk comes off like I'm being an ass. And she said that she has to, if we're out, she's like, she has to kind of cover for me so the people around don't think I'm an asshole. I'm like, well, don't do that. I don't give a fuck if they think I'm an ass. I don't know. So, but then at the same time, when it comes back around to, every once in a while I'll get down, I'll be like, man, fucking nobody out in fucking podcast land likes me. They all think I'm a fucking asshole, So it comes and goes. It comes in waves,
Well, see, here's what I think, and you may not be able to see it because you're so close to it, about what you just said about everybody in podcast land, which is kind of all of our acquaintances through shows, think that you're an asshole. But what they also think is you're like the unknown, like the wild card. Nobody knows. So it almost also makes you a damn superhero, because, me, Jody B, everybody, we all know everything about them. With you, people kind of don't really know, because you don't listen to a lot of podcasts. So when it gets to like gossip time on y'all's show, when Doug wants to do the gossip girl part, you don't really have a big, you'll be like, I don't listen. And so people can take that two ways. Either, what a dick, or he really just doesn't listen. So
that's exactly how I take it. I mean, it's not like, oh, he just he just doesn't listen. I mean, and I'm, out of the two of us,
you don't listen to hardly anyone in our circle of friends. That's the truth. You listen to true crime.
I do.
That's okay.
Just listen. I listen to murder shit, and I'd listen to some of our friends' podcasts when I'm done catching up on all my murder shit. And I'm like,
I can't, in good conscience, say, yeah, I listen to whatever show.
Yeah,
and then not say, yeah, it sucked. I can't. If it sucked, I'm going to tell you it sucked. Yeah. So I would rather just not listen to it, so then I don't have to lie.
Well, so that's where y'all got into a little. I was listening when you guys reviewed the girls from Zero Fucks Given.
Never listened to that show.
Yeah, and you said that, and I think even Doug did, and then he was trying to play the snippets. And one thing I'll give you both is, because some people in the Twitter land were like, oh, they beat those girls to death. I was like, no, I don't think they really did. They tried to really give them.
When did they do that?
This was a couple episodes ago,
okay.
2 or 3 episodes back. I thought you guys were fucking reserved as shit. I thought it was going to go real bad, and it didn't. And that's from me, so I'm giving the straight up honest. I was like, damn.
So I never heard any feedback from Doug. Gets all kinds of feedback. I only get filtered through Doug feedback.
Sure.
Sometimes I think he tries to spare my feelings.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that it was you guys were nice about it, all the way around, because most of the time y'all do. Well, if whether it's a bit or not, who knows, but if y'all don't like it, or one of you doesn't like it, y'all usually just straight up say, this sucks ass, and then move on.
So I did listen. You're pushing me into a corner. Maybe I'm pushing myself into a corner. I did listen to an episode of the small town. What is it? The one that runs the network that we were supposedly on for a while.
That's the next great. You lead me into great questions.
Small town mentality.
Yeah, Ben over there, small town mentality.
So I never interacted with him. Never had a conversation with him. I tried listening to an episode of his podcast. Couldn't do it. It just the quality of the audio was bad. First of all,
the hissing sound.
Whatever.
The hissing.
Yeah, exactly. And he had two people on his show that were wrestlers or something, and I could give a fuck less about wrestling. So I mean, you already got 2 strikes against you, and then it just I don't even know how to explain it. It just wasn't good to me.
Sure.
Oh.
And and I really feel like, man, sometimes I feel like I don't want to be an asshole, but then at the same time, I feel like I'm not going to pretend like your shit was good.
Well,
right.
Because if you did, though, people like me that listen to your show, I would smell that a mile away. Like, I'd be like, he's lying.
Yeah, I'm not
Anthony's lying. He's lying. Yeah. And then it changes your whole kind of thing. And I mean, my advice, and I'm nobody either, so who cares? But I wouldn't change a thing of that. I like that you stick to that, and that should always be across the board. I wish I could do that.
Why can't you?
Because I'm a bitch. I'm a sensitive bitch, and it really.
It's not about being sensitive. It's about being honest, man.
No,
you don't have to be so blunt, like your shit sucks, but just just be like, hey, man, it's not for me.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, though. He will just go out of his way to not hurt somebody's feelings or to just say.
It gets me
agree.
in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, and it does because it gets to a point where like.
Well, eventually I'll get called on it, and they'll be like, "Well, let's do something together," and I'm like, "Oh God, I hate that show. I hate that whole show. Damn it."
Doesn't that make it worse though? I mean, because
yeah, it does.
There you go. Yeah.
And plus. As far as that zero fucks given, like I said, never listened to their show. When we pulled the, 4, 5, 6 clips, we didn't even pull clips. We just pulled their show and clicked around to a bunch of different places, right? What I heard, kind of funny. So maybe that somebody on our end heard that and checked them out. Right. I don't know. I'm we don't have a huge audience. I don't know. But it wasn't like I was, I don't know. I'd never even listened to their show. I was just.
Saying that you didn't listen to a show doesn't mean like that's what people get so sensitive about. Just because I feel like people hate on me, like think I'm a bitch for it too, and I'm like, oh no, I haven't listened to that, and it's not because.
Yeah, you're honest.
I'm not trying to say like
with that.
I fucking hate you. I'm just saying I haven't listened. Like it's not a dig against you. It's just like I have my like certain things that I enjoy, and. Sometimes
you're not it.
And yeah, exactly. And that's nothing against you. I mean, I don't even listen to our podcast all the time. And I am the one that edits it and puts it out.
I haven't listened to an episode of our show in months.
And sometimes she doesn't even listen to it when she does edit it. She just takes out a couple of silent marks and then that's it. So,
yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, no. Like, and by like editing it, I mean like I put the music on each end and then like, I slide the files into each other, you know, export, upload, boom. Like it's not, I don't got time to get in the fucking weeds with editing. And so it's like, I'll listen to maybe 30 seconds of it, like spot checking it. And then I'm like, all right, good to go.
Well, you see, like who's the person that I think gets you guys the most and is the most similar to you guys is Jody B. He's always, since I've known him, he's got y'all show. Cause there's even been a couple times where like, especially at first, I was a super mark for Doug. Doug could get me every time. And that was when I was taking it wrong. Like now getting to know Doug, I understand. It's almost, and I think we should all be this way, that if we share any kind of airtime discussing another show, that's in no way bad. It can't, it's only good. Whether they're shitting on you or not, they're talking about you, and that might get somebody to listen to check it out. Probably more likely to check it out if you shit on them than if you talk good about them, honestly.
Right. Yeah, because nobody believes that. I mean, nobody believes that you like every single show. And I mean, that's just phony.
Well, so I want to talk about our
that's
mutual buddy. Go ahead, babe.
Was it Doug that? Oh God, I don't even remember where I just saw this on the. It was either on like Twitter or something, or no, it was on It was on the comments, and I think it might have been Doug that like when we were introducing, I think the girls from What's in Your Hometown, and it was like one of the comments on like the Facebook live stream or whatever was like, Randall has 712 favorite shows.
That was Doug. That was absolutely Doug. 100%.
And I was like, I wanted to be like, bro, I agree. He does. He's such a nice guy and has room for everybody.
But I do listen. To him.
Everybody.
I do listen to the shows I say I listen to.
I know you do,
subscribe
baby.
and listen. It's not.
I know.
And sometimes it's tedious, and I back myself into a corner, and I can acknowledge my faults.
But you do a lot of. I mean, like I know you listen to because you said you work from home, so like I mean, you just have fucking podcasts playing all day. Mm-hmm. Like I mean, it's you got time.
Yeah, I mean, there's no comeback. You're right. You're both right.
But I was dying.
Right
I was dying. Yes, 712. But yes, he does.
I want to talk a little bit about. There's two things I definitely had to hit on, and they're really my main two things. First one was the Louis Gomez thing. Uh-huh. Were you a little hurt that you weren't even mentioned? It was all Doug from Who's Right. Because even I was like, damn, they didn't even throw a bone to Anthony. Like even say his co-host Anthony.
No. So the answer to that is no. The way that worked is if you think or anybody thinks that Louis J. Gomez actually put me or Doug's show on to listen to, you're kidding yourself. He didn't.
Of course.
He I guarantee you he didn't even play our show at all. He might have had an assistant listen to a couple of minutes of it, maybe, but I don't even think that happened.
Yeah.
So
they had clips of it though, didn't they? Or was it just the clips of the Who Are These Podcasts?
It was just Who Are These Podcasts.
And then it was like the rabbit hole of like, it was like, oh my fucking God.
Well, then they just raped everybody.
Well, no, but then it was like, well, yeah, they said they raped everybody, but then it was like Louis J. Gomez listening to Who Are These Podcasts, reviewing Louis J. Gomez listening to the first Who Are These Podcasts, and it was like this big fucking circle of like oh my God, it was like when you have two mirrors facing each other and it's like I was like, this is too much. It's too much.
Well, no, that's an excellent point though about because
Anthony wasn't even on. Anthony wasn't even a part of that.
Yeah,
I wasn't on WATP, and I have no interest in going on WATP.
That was gonna be my next question. Like, are you gonna go?
Yeah, I've wondered that too. That is a good question. That would be good.
I like the show, sort of. I'm kind of at odds with that one. I like that show, but I don't think I like Carl.
I mostly just listen to the episodes that Doug goes
I do too.
on.
I hate to be a Doug homer here, but he makes the show to me.
I like the ones where Kaya is on too. I don't know if you've heard those or not.
Yes, I've heard some of those. The ones with Doug are the funniest, I think.
Yeah, me too.
But I think you're made for that. You could be excellent on that show because they're all about shitting on stuff and being on it. You know, like they find bits and they're honest about what they think, and that makes it funny. You know, I think you could do well.
Randall said, "You're just like shitting on people."
What I wish that the podcast Circle Jerk that we're all a part of, I wish they would have stayed more on Todd. Do you remember that whole episode?
God,
yes.
That guy is fucking fascinating.
He is. I almost think he's a hero in a weird way.
That Todd / Seamus.
Yeah.
That chewed gum guy.
The 10,000 downloads on his own.
He is something else, man. Like
he's a rapper.
Yes.
And a comedian.
And a comedian. And he has about 12 different podcasts. And I've listened to a couple of episodes of a couple of different of his podcasts. And it's exactly what you would think. Tell him how great he is. Everything he says out of his mouth is about how great he is.
Are they all podcasts just hosted by him?
He has 3 or 4, maybe 5 now by himself.
What?
And he has 2 or 3 other ones where he has a host. He does a true crime podcast or 2. Does
he?
Well, yes. Why not? I mean, when you're that talented.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God, John.
But can it be – I take the devil's advocate on everybody beating Todd to the ground. Mm-hmm. How much confidence does that guy have? He thinks can you really hate that and then The second
Hate?
part,
No, I don't hate. I am fucking fascinated.
Yeah.
I don't think it's confidence. There's confidence, and then there's got to be some kind of a mental disorder where you
yes.
think that your shit doesn't. You literally think your shit doesn't stink.
Yes.
Like you know.
yeah, sure. His stand-up
Like-
was awful, by the way. I don't know if you watched it, the clip of
Oh,
him.
it's terrible.
It's the worst thing I've ever sat through. It was so
Yes.
bad I thought, is he doing like Andy Kaufman, like trying to tank?
That's what John said to me. John thinks that I'm doing Andy Kaufman. Like my whole shtick with
Yeah.
the podcast is me doing Andy Kaufman. And you know what my question was?
Who's Andy Kaufman?
Who's Andy Kaufman?
Oh my gosh.
I could see that. But that leads into my next
and then
question.
and then he explained to me who Andy Kaufman was. Well, I just politely nodded my head. Like I've never heard of Andy Kaufman.
So, John, let's talk about John, because I love John. I think we all love John. But,
Of
man,
course.
you guys, well, like Doug said, his own words, fuck his eyeballs out in podcast life.
Sure.
And I've heard you and John. You guys were excellent
Oh,
together on an episode, that they did
After
together.
after the hurricane
Yeah, really?
last year.
yeah, I appreciate that.
I thought you guys were excellent together, like a B under you and nothing like you and Doug, but for
Yeah.
a fill-in, it was
He
as
was perfect,
exceptional as
yeah.
it could be. And so, how does that? I guess I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Doug. Like, so how do you separate that where you guys can hammer on him, but it's almost like a brother, like an older brother beating up his younger brother? You love him, you can beat his ass, but no one else could. Because me and Brooke both agree that if someone else attacked John, you and Doug would be the first ones to jump in to help John.
Dude, don't fuck with John. Come on.
Yeah. Well, them and us. Like, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But so it's just funny because, like, I can fuck with my brother, you know, but you can't, to other people.
Of course.
So John's been there listening to our show since like the second, third, fourth, fifth, somewhere around in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it was back when I thought that maybe we could do something with this. When this first started, I had no intentions of like doing what we do. I thought that we had the talent to put out a decent show where we just kind of argued and it was funny sometimes, but we were serious. It became apparent really quickly that I'm not that talented. So the show kind of devolved into what it is now, and John kind of stuck with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have the talent to carry a conversation for an hour, hour and a half and be intelligent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have it. I'm a stupid guy.
Well,
you know?
I definitely, I understand that
No.
personally. I'm the same way. But what I do love is when you guys do get into like a political question or story that y'all really cover.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I could be being marked here, but I usually agree with everything you say politically.
That's when Doug went, ugh,
I know. And Doug gave me that when I
He
said that.
how can anybody agree with you?
ugh, gotta go, bye.
But no, I think people take outrage over some people that just have like common sense politics. Like it doesn't even have to identify with a party, just the common sense
Of being decent.
Of just
or
making
just like, this makes sense.
like
Yeah.
just a simple question. If you ask somebody, so what do you think about the wall? And they say, okay, I think we should have the wall. And then they shut up and stop. That person's a dick because they didn't tell,
No,
and
they're
sometimes
not.
Anthony will just be like, that's stupid. I think this.
Yeah.
And then Doug is smart enough to be like, okay, so you're saying you hate black people. I can't believe you just said you hate you hate Latinos. Okay, that's where I knew it. And that's the genius part.
My politics have always been liberal. I've always been a very, very liberal person. I would almost put myself in the anti-capitalist side of things. Almost. Not quite.
Sure.
So, but what I've seen in the past, I don't know, 5 years or so, is that side is fucking nuts.
They've gotten nuts.
Correct.
It's crazy.
Both,
shit.
any extreme
Both,
to
yeah,
me
yeah.
is, they're
Right.
all insane.
So my problem with politics is that if we live in a fucked up system, like, I think capitalism can be pretty fucked up, right? But what's the alternative? I think communism is worse.
Right.
Well, anyone with a brain
Correct.
agrees with that.
Correct.
I don't know what the answer is. I'm not. I'll argue just for fun, but I don't know what the answer is.
No,
But I
yeah.
know it's not communism.
No, and it's just somewhere in the middle of all this shit that we got going on now. It's just everybody has to take it, each party, and I hate politics so fucking much.
Here's what I think is the
Hate it.
problem. And so I want to know if this is how you feel. It's what I think you feel as a fan and listener. Is that when you're asked a question, you literally think of, okay, what's my answer? That's it. You don't think, all right, who am I going to hurt if I say this?
Oh, yeah, no.
And who am I going to hurt if I say that? Which is what I do. And it's not right. I want a little more of the, let me just think of my answer. And if you don't like it, you know what? I don't even listen to podcasts, so I don't care. Like, I think there's a happy medium there where I can learn some of that. But so am I
You
right?
still
Is
give
that
your
how
answers.
think?
You just think through and you explain, I'm going to piss this person off.
And then I say
So-
why I love those people.
Right.
Still.
There's 3 people in the world that I even give 2 shits about their opinion of me. My wife, my son, and my daughter. My daughter's 13, my son's 11, so I don't have to worry about that right now.
Sure.
Because they're not gonna hear this.
Yep.
And my wife, she married me. She knows what she got. You know what I mean? I've been with my wife since I was 17 years old. I'm 39. So I mean, if she hasn't figured me out by now.
Well,
Wow.
so what do you think?
There's something to say for that. Anyways.
How many times have you and Doug really disagreed to the point of there was some real like hostility on the disagreement?
On the show?
Yeah.
I would say probably three times, I suppose. 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 times.
Nice.
But we both cooled down and called each other on the phone a couple days later and been like, hey, I'm sorry. That was stupid. I shouldn't have done this. And he same way. He same way. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I meant this. And then we'll kind of explain ourselves. And
Sure.
I mean, it just always seems to work out. You know what I mean? Because I know he's not coming from a bad place. Like he's not. I don't even know how to explain it. There's no hate in his heart, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to say it?
No, that's fair. Doug he's surprised me as I've gotten to know him outside of the show. He's a soft dude. He's similar to me like that.
I wouldn't say that on the recording.
He'll be all right. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. And that's not he really isn't.
He obviously
you guys
is,
really
yeah.
are in one of my real handfuls of favorite shows. Not
In
the
one of-
732.
I don't know. In one of the maybe in the one of the 65.
I'd put him in the top 50.
Okay.
Most of our disagreements are not because we actually disagree. It's because either I'm insecure about something that's happened. He is in charge of sort of running the social media and all that kind of thing. And I kind of take a back seat to that on purpose. I don't do it. And then I get pissed at him when I don't have any social media engagement. And I take it. It's not his fault whatsoever, but I take it out on him and he gets defensive. And I mean, it's not a disagreement so much as my insecurities a lot of times.
Oh, I've got to also, this just hit me. I remember when you guys were first getting into your stuff with Blunt Mommy. And I remember at one point you guys were ripping asses and it was funny and everything and it was all in good fun. And you said something about her smoking cigarettes and that it bothered you.
No. Bothered me is down here. It's way up here.
No, I'm just telling you, bro. That's my number one. I've talked about it on numerous shows. I can't stand it. If you smoke as a woman, it didn't matter. Even if I smoked, which I don't, but I do dip. It doesn't matter. If you smoke, it's a deal breaker for me.
Right.
And you're the only person
years.
that I know that's ever said that with the same vigor.
Yes.
And gusto as me, where people have been mad at me. Like, so you wouldn't? I'm like, I wouldn't. That's a wrap.
It's fucking disgusting. I mean, literally disgusting. And I don't know how crude you like to get on your show, but there's videos that I've seen. We talked to Roxy Ray. You probably know Roxy Ray, right?
I've heard of her. Is she
she's a porn star?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
She's the porn star that had there was a dude and a chick, and they were pouring cereal, Fruit Loops, in her asshole with milk and eating the Fruit Loops out of her asshole.
Okay, I think I
okay
heard.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
I'm okay
just as long
with
as she doesn't
that.
smoke.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. I don't care. Do your thing. You know what I mean?
I'm so similar. I don't know why. It's my button, man. It makes me want to throw up.
Me too.
Or I wouldn't even say that. Like I can walk past people that smoke and they don't, I don't look at them with the disgust. But when it comes to me picking someone, like if, for my attraction level, and this is nothing on anyone that smokes, we just will never be. Like it's just plain and simple. And that's okay because what the fuck am I? I mean, but it's never going to happen.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's never going to happen anyways, babe.
I know, but if you were sitting there smoking,
I don't know. I'm right here.
I know,
I'm right here.
and you don't smoke.
How long have you guys been married?
3 years,
Yeah,
but we've been together 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're still technically newlyweds.
Yeah,
I
we've been,
guess.
we're
But we have a
both on
5-year-old.
And we're on our second marriages, both of us.
Yes.
I think coming up in June is my 15th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
I think it's 15.
Oh, well, this.
Right? But like I said, I've been with her since I was 17. So,
Damn, you're one of the.
We were just talking
rare
about this
ones.
yesterday.
That's
Like it's so
rare.
I know because my nieces are in high school and college, and they've got really some of their first serious boyfriends ish, and it's you don't want to rain on their parade, but me and my sister were talking about it. I'm like, it's just so rare that you meet somebody at that age and then stay with them. I mean, it's like I can literally count on one hand, I think, the people I know that met in high school and are still together because Randall and I both, our first marriages were people that we were with from when we were you were like 16, I think, when you were with her. I was 18 when I met my first husband, and it was just, you grow up and most people are like, oh yeah, we're not the same people anymore. And we changed into different people and bye.
yeah.
Your sister though.
Right. But my sister and her husband are, they've been together forever since they met when they were in college, but super young, and they were like each other's first serious relationship, and then 20 something years later they're still going strong, and it's just Randall and I are like, well,
no, I think that's awesome that
second time's a charm for us.
Yep, there you go.
That leads me perfect because we've got some listener questions with that wanted some marriage advice, and even though we couldn't,
I was gonna say, how the fuck do you get listener questions,
we couldn't
Randall?
promote them that Anthony was coming on, but these are just from our inbox. So I just want to ask general questions and get him to chime in.
Okay.
He's a survivor of a lifer here from high school sweetheart. That doesn't happen very often. So we got to celebrate.
I love it.
that.
Tip
All
of
right.
the hat.
Brooke and Randall, I cannot get my husband to have a serious conversation about our spending. We've been married 5 years, and finances have always been a sore spot for us. How do you discuss finances without fighting? Let Anthony go first, and then we can chime in. Because this is that's a real deal.
Of course,
trigger.
it's real.
So I don't know how you guys do it. I don't want to make assumptions or whatever, but ever since me and my wife moved in together when I was 18, moved out of my parents' house, moved in with her. The first thing we did was put our bank accounts together. We've had joint bank accounts. We never fought about money. We either have it or we don't. What's the fight about? We don't have it. Well, something's not going to get paid. Lights might get shut off. But do you want to fight in the dark, or it just seems stupid, doesn't it?
I like that approach.
Yeah,
money is not something that I can't say it's not important to me, because obviously it is.
Sure,
but it's like second, third, fourth on the list of everything else. I just don't care that much about money.
See, I think you could teach a class like literally for life, like that simple answer, right?
I try to. I work at a place where they offer overtime quite a bit, and the people that I work with are very greedy, and they will work as much overtime as they possibly. There's people that work 60 hours a week, and
Fuck that, though.
that's what I'm saying. So
I'd rather be with my family than work 60 goddamn hours a week.
I work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Because that's how much I can work without getting fired. and so, and that's,
Amen. Yeah.
And we adjust our budget. I mean, I'm not saying I don't make good money. I make decent money, but we adjust our finances to fit the amount of money that I make. You know, my wife doesn't work. We do okay. My kids are not starving. Everything's fine. Everything will be okay.
You have power. I can see lights on in there.
Right. Right.
In the grand scheme of things, you're balling. You know, I mean,
that's exactly right. I don't have to work that much. 40 hours isn't all that much.
That's perfect. Yeah.
My advice is, if you're going to fight about finances, just stop, take a deep breath, ask yourself, do we really want to fight about this? Is this something that we really need to fight about? The bill's going to get paid or it's not. What's the fight about?
Yeah.
That's a great, I mean, fuck, man. Now I feel like a dick because my answer is not that, and that's a way better answer. My answer was let your wife handle your finances, because that's what I did. I had to let go of the finances for us, and I'm a control freak, right? Brooke had to pry the finances away from me gently over time.
Yeah.
And I give her props because she did it beautifully. Like all of a sudden one day I was completely out.
Wait, what happened here?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I haven't seen the checkbook in months. What the fuck?
And everything's paid. And
everything's on. My credit's going up. My credit's been on the rise. This is crazy. We're getting a new house. Nuts. So, yeah, that's my advice. I wish it was better. But
and not everybody's not the same, obviously. I mean, it's just that's what worked for us. But I do agree with what you said about the joint bank account thing. Because, I mean, it because then everything's it's
easy to split if you don't. People that don't, I feel like
it's like you got one foot out the door.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Either commit or get out, man.
Yeah.
But if you're like, bitch, I'm gonna have my credit cards and my checking account separate from yours, then you're gonna divorce so quick because you're not stuck.
Well, that's that's what
your divorce was the easiest divorce. Brooke divorced her ex-husband in 32 seconds. They shared nothing.
32 seconds.
No kids.
It was, we didn't have any kids. It was literally
a hearty handshake and a signature. And
it was less than 4 months of and that was like going back and forth where there was even some shit wrong on the paperwork one time where we had to go back because it was, no kids. All of our stuff was financially was already separate. Like it was literally a matter of like splitting everything up in the house that we had. He had to sign we bought a house together. That was the one thing. And then that was just one piece of paper he had to sign. We're like, okay, bye. See you later.
Me and my wife had we rented a house for 10 months when I moved out of my parents' house, and we got kicked out after 10 months. We broke our lease, and then we bought a house. And we lived in that house for 10 years, and then we bought another house, and we've lived here for going on 11 or 12 years. So, I mean, we bought a house after, 10 months after we moved out together,
Damn.
And we got kicked out of the house that we lived in because we had 7-8 people living with us at the time. It was like a flop house. People were just there all the time, And they didn't like that.
It's like a commune.
Yeah, I mean, people needed a place to stay. We're like, fuck. Dude, I'm 18. I have a house. This is a house.
Yeah.
You know how much room is in a house?
We have a fucking house, yo.
When you're 18,
grab your sleeping bag. We got floors.
When you're 18, you can fit 30 motherfuckers in a house.
Oh, God. I know.
It's easy. I mean,
because people can still sleep on the floor and shit,
right.
on chairs and couches.
There is zero chance I'm sleeping on any floor now.
No, God, no. My bad back. I'm not sleeping on anything that's not memory foam.
I'm not sleeping on a fucking futon right now.
God, no.
At 40 years old, my bones can't handle it.
I slept on piss-covered mattresses in college. I wouldn't go near a futon now. It could be brand new. Oh shit. That's correct. That's nuts.
So you might not want to say, or maybe you do. I don't. I'm curious what you do for a living.
Oh, I do. Well, it's a couple of things. A part of it I can't really talk about that or on the air. Just
Are you in the CIA?
No, not in the CIA. But a majority of my job is in communications.
Sales.
Yes, we'll say sales.
Outside sales. And
You are so in the CIA.
Yeah, well, no, it's like a...
But that, I mean,
I
that's...
say it's still in the realm of telecom, right?
Yeah, and that's like the industry that I'm in too, because that's how we met. We both worked for the same company.
Yeah,
Forever
at one
ago.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't work
you don't
for
do
that
the same
company.
thing?
No, she does. I don't.
No, we
I
were
left
never.
that
He's
company.
always been in sales, and I've always been in operations, and that's how we met. When we used to work for the same company. I still work for that company, but he moved on to another one because it was really so he could move here because he was living in Alabama. But yeah, like telecommunications is the broadest.
Yeah, but so I've got to ask you this one.
Why were you pointing at me?
Just because I wanted to get on to this question before I say too much and my damn employer kicks my ass. Mine's a stickler, man. It's fucking nuts.
You kidding me?
I mean, yours is too. But check this one out. So I really need some advice on this, guys. It's causing me a lot of stress and anxiety. My husband has a female best friend. They get along so well. When he's with her, he's relaxed, enjoys his time and their conversations. They have a similar way of talking. They shoot the shit together. We do not have that. Am I crazy for being jealous? What do you think, Anthony?
Crazy is a strong word, but if you're jealous of your husband's best friend, your marriage is doomed.
Yeah.
I think that if you're a jealous person and you're with somebody who doesn't accept that you're a jealous person, it's just not going to work. So that's not compatible.
So you think that guys and girls can be best friends? Because it's tough for me. I think
you've
somebody
always said no.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking if he thinks they can, because I don't. I think that somebody always wants.
You're
to
not
fuck.
on the fence, then. You're just no.
Don't say somebody. The guy always wants to fuck. We both know that. I think there are women that think they can have best friends that are men, but I don't think that that's a function of a man. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong.
And I don't think I think Anthony was hitting it right, the nail on the head when he was saying like it doesn't make sense if you're a jealous person, because we're both jealous people, right? But we know that about each other, and we don't. Yeah, and we don't do, and it's fine. And I don't do. I would never put myself in a situation like constantly hanging out with another dude.
Right.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Because all that would do is make you fucking pissed and miserable. Therefore, my life would not be great. I mean, like, why would I even do that? So, like, the fact that he's still, like, it's just, that marriage is doomed.
I think what she's saying, though, there's an important part where she says, what's powerful is she says they get along, he relaxes. Like, if he relaxes with her
and not with
doesn't
you?
with his wife, that's some scary shit. Like, that's his home base then, and you're not the home base.
Right. You're supposed to be home base.
Right.
I don't know. I feel bad, but...
no, I feel really bad for her.
Ma'am, I think you're fucked. Give us a 5-star rating, though.
So, I think that the first thing in any marriage, I guess, in any relationship, you got to know yourself. You got to know how you are as a person and how you are going to react to other personality types, right? If you don't even understand yourself and how you feel, how can you expect to appreciate or understand anybody else, I know how my wife is. My wife knows how I am. If I'm a jealous person, she's going to have to understand that. If I'm not, cool. You know what I mean? It all just depends. I can't make a generalization about, men having women friends and all that. Because if your wife's cool with it, what can I say? Being okay. Try not to fuck her, I guess.
That's exactly right. Hey, try to keep it in your pants, but I don't buy it.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hang out with another woman on a regular basis.
No,
I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Brooke
would kill everybody. It would
no,
be bad. everyone would die.
It's just because I mean exactly what this girl is feeling. Like, why the fuck? Why would you want to hang out with another when you got me? Like, I'm supposed to be the one you want to hang out with all the time.
No, and a lot of times I feel so bad, like, because it's crazy. And we had a listener that literally recorded a voice message and sent it to us the other night about one of our shows. Like, I mean, we're extremely lucky. I can't believe people actually like call and message us some shit. But I feel bad sometimes because I'm like, how bad must it be to write into a show with a question like, damn.
No. Her voice message, though, was to give you some advice.
Well, yeah, the one that left us the voice was about me pissing.
Your health issues.
Because I drink too much Mountain Dew. She's a nurse and didn't like it.
You drink Mountain Dew?
Dude, I'm a
Constantly.
Mountain Dew addict.
How in the fuck do you have a body like that when you drink Mountain Dew?
That's what everyone says.
And we just like when he bitches about anything, like I don't know, and I'm like, what? You could be fucking shredded, like the Rock.
If that's what you're trying to do. if that's what you want, fuck, man.
I know.
Mountain Dew is stopping you from getting there. I'm telling you.
It's a strong addiction, and mine is super bad. Like, it embarrasses me. People think I'm joking about. I'm trying to be on, like, I want people to know that, dude, I'm not some health nut.
No.
I dip tobacco and I damn drink a shit ton of Mountain. Now I work out every day, but yeah, I could definitely achieve my goals faster if I wasn't a fucking like everyone else and had my advice and my.
So my question, I guess, do you hide it from the 30 for 30 crew?
No, they get on to me. The ones that are filming the documentaries. Yeah, I've had to had my agent cut a few parts.
It's water.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that. But I'm thinking they're going to do an angle about it where they talk about why I came up short, like in my career. This was the culprit, was the fucking soda. But I had to go to the store earlier to get a 12-pack of Dews. Like, I was out. And that just can't happen.
And it was like, oh,
just
no.
Can't happen.
Yeah. He was like, oh, fuck. Before we go home, we have to stop at Racetrack because it's like.
I have no Mountain Dews.
We have no Mountain Dews at home, and that's unfucking acceptable.
No, it's a junkie, man. I feel like.
Do you drink a lot of alcohol or no?
No, I'm not a big drinker. I'll have a beer. Brooke drinks more beer.
I drink way more beer than he does. But I drink water all day. And then beer.
Her kidneys are healthier than mine by far from the Mountain Dew and shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, check this question. This is obviously a bullshit question that somebody just wants to be funny, but I'll ask it. Unless it's real, but I doubt it.
We love funny.
All right, hey guys, big fan. So anywho, my wife caught me with another man.
What?
So this is a man getting caught with another man. She claims she divorced me and my family broke up.
What?
My son ran away and all this jazz, but who cares?
What?
Most importantly, philosophically, there you go.
Philosophically.
Does it make it gay if a man gives me a hand job? The backstory is I was too tired after work and met this guy to give me a hand job because I was too lazy. That's when I got caught by my wife. If the man identified as a woman, does this not make it gay but just infidelity? Thanks for your help.
Oh, wow. There's so many
My
layers
first.
to that.
Okay, wait. So you're admitting that it's infidelity. That's where it should stop, right?
Yes.
Does it matter if it's gay or straight?
I don't think
infidelity?
it. Yeah, no.
No, you're not. He's
With
trying
another
to do that,
person, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's gay or infidelity. It's all infidelity.
If I was lazy sitting on my couch, but I was like, raring to go, but I'm lazy, how am I going to get off my couch rather than just do it myself? That doesn't make any sense. You're lying.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
You're
Having
lying.
another person involved doesn't mean you're. No, that's effort.
I mean,
Lazy is doing it yourself.
Yeah.
in today's age, I believe this has happened to people where, because you see it on fucking TV now. All these guys that end up getting jerked off by another guy, but they're supposed to be straight, and they still pretend they're straight, like the dad.
Abducted in plain sight.
Yeah, that got jerked off or jerked the guy off.
I never saw that show. Is it good?
Oh, it's fucking
It's
great.
good. Yeah.
This guy's been telling me to watch it.
This
Yeah.
guy jerked off another guy and just acted like it was no big deal, like just doing his buddy a favor. I'm like, buddy, you're gay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but you're gay.
Yeah.
Just be
I
gay.
had a buddy ask me. If he could give me head one time.
Oh no.
Mm.
You're like,
That's a rough one there, Anthony.
Yeah.
pass.
No, it wasn't rough. It wasn't rough at all. good. It's cool.
I mean, but you're not, or me. I'm never going to look at that friend the same way, and they're not anti-gay or like. I'm just going to be like, man, you're gay. Like, you asked me for, if you could suck my dick. Like, you took it to a different gay level. Like, I got friends that are gay, no problem. I mean, that's the total thing everyone says. But I'm totally socially liberal. Be as gay as you want. But if you're gay and you ask me, knowing I'm a straight guy, to suck my dong, when because we're friends, you're gay. Like, that's a whole nother.
So he was having some issues, and he didn't know if he was gay or not. And he asked if he could give me head to help him make a decision. No.
Why's he got to bring you into that decision?
Yeah, I'd be more mad at him. Like,
what
bro,
do you have to do with that decision?
Why are you involving me in this shit, man?
Why don't you find a gay guy that you don't know, like a friend? Just try and figure it out.
Well, so I guess all of us
trying to confuse me too
are on the same page with this guy. Our answer is, dude, you're gay and you cheated on your wife. Like, that's just the two things.
It's still infidelity because and you're gay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's both.
Right.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so we got two more. This one is too long to read it all, but I'm just going to summarize it.
Okay.
The guy's basically saying his wife has become a stage 5 clinger outside of normal. She won't, when he goes away for work, she follows him through the house while he packs up his shit. He has to call her. The second his plane lands, he has to call her every step of the way. When he is home, she gives him no space. They've been married like 15 years.
And it's all of a sudden.
That her behavior has changed. This isn't her normal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason I thought the question is intriguing, because like Anthony says, you got to know your spouse. And by 15 years, you would hit your stride and know what's normal and not. So if one of them has all of a sudden become a stage 5 clinger, what do we think that means? And this was like a 2-page question, so I wasn't going to write it all out.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought is, you ever watch those shows like House, the old? So she's got some kind of brain tumor or something.
A parasite.
So yeah, she's got a parasite or something. Something, you know what I mean? Like
because it's altered her whole personality. Like
Yeah, the first thing that pops into my head, I wish, and I can't, we'll never know, but I want to ask the listener, has there been an issue with, like, did he cheat or almost cheat, or did he have, like, an emotional affair? Yeah. And so now she's just a fucking hawk. And maybe it wasn't a full one, but he started an emotional affair, and now she's never going to, let that shit get to that point.
Or did she?
She's not going to trust him,
Or the other way around. But, well, no, because he's like, dude, leave me alone. He would be the clinger if it was her.
If somebody says, I have to call her right when I land, she makes me. She's not there. She can't make you. Just don't call. I mean, that's my. So part of you wants this, because if you didn't, you wouldn't go along with it, right? Your plane lands, and in your mind, you're thinking, I have to call, but I don't want to. Just don't call. I mean, that's the way it works, right? You're playing along. You're playing into this.
Yeah.
Don't play into it. You know?
It'd be different if he wanted to call his wife as soon as the plane landed, and then he would be fine with it if that was just their way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It feels
but obviously he has a problem with it.
Yeah.
Right, because it feels like there's a lot of him that's like pushing her away too, so that
he could be tired of that ass.
Right.
It sounds like he almost wants a way out, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, my wife's now crazy. Maybe
and
it's him.
and it's like, it's more than likely something he did, like you were saying, caused that. And then the more she does it, it's like a vicious cycle. Like the more she does it, the more it repulses him. And so he's like, ugh, bitch, stop. And so it's just going to make it worse. His take on her, and then she's going to get even more clingy because it's going to be, this isn't working. Yeah.
No,
that's sad, though. After 15 years, y'all fucking talk about it. Jesus.
Yeah, really. Where do you guys get these questions from?
We get them mailed. They mail them in to Married and other listeners,
they
mail them in.
write them, mail them in.
by snail mail
put
to
a stamp on it.
maryday@gmail.com.
No, they don't.
No, they email us
You
at
had me going for a second there.
No, they send them into our Gmail, our Instagram. We get a few. Twitter is Twitter is great for other podcasters. Like that's where we do all of our friends with him, but very few. We've gotten a few listeners on Twitter. But man, really, Instagram, Facebook is more to get listeners.
Yeah.
And they send into our Gmail. There's not a big Twitter interaction with listeners, oddly.
Yeah.
For us.
We are starting to get we're starting to get into the YouTube streaming. We're going to pick up the YouTube crowd.
I want to do that
I think
too.
that could be great for you guys. I saw that you guys did your stream.
We streamed for 3 hours, 3.5 hours today.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
And we recorded a Patreon.
Nice.
I told my wife, I woke up, it was about 8:30 this morning. I was like, okay, cool. I should be done by noon. We'll go out for lunch. And we didn't start recording until probably 10:30 or 11. And I was in here until 5 o'clock.
Oh, my gosh.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
that's a long time. But, I mean, honestly, and I want to get to this, that was our last listener question. So you guys have had, and I don't know your numbers, and I don't even want to talk about
I don't know
it.
our numbers either, so
it's no big deal. But you guys have had some pretty recent heat. You've been on a few pretty big shows. Mm-hmm. Names been mentioned out there. So it's kind of you've got a head of steam, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I already put in my 2 weeks notice at my job. So,
so you're
things
all
better
in.
happen quickly.
Yeah, you're all in on it.
Right.
But the last thing I wanted to ask you, and then I'm out of questions, was you don't do many guest spots, right? Like I've heard you on Po' Boys.
Yep.
And
that was a mistake.
Why? And I've heard you with John. Have you done other shows?
No.
Okay, so then I haven't missed anything.
Nice.
Nope.
Well, that's weird. So are you?
So my appearance on, I'm still uncomfortable about my appearance on Po' Boys with Jody B, because I was geeking out about music, and nobody gives two shits about the music that I listen to, but I geek out about it. You know what I mean? And
sure.
and I feel like he was humoring me a little bit, and I don't know. It was a strange interaction.
Well, Jody's big in music. I didn't think it was weird because he's such a music fan.
One.
Like he's super eclectic. He likes everything. So
yeah.
It didn't seem weird to me, but that's just me.
Like I said, I'm very self-conscious. So just whatever you call it. So
it was good.
Yeah,
I like that because I think that's because that was really early on.
It was early
when we started podcasting, and because Jody was one of the first people we started interacting with, and I think that was one of the episodes, or that was the episode that I listened to. I was like, well, I'm gonna go check these guys out. And I went and listened to you and Doug, and then was like, okay, I see now. And it's totally different than, of course, than when you're talking to Jody. But I was like, all right.
Well, I think it's good that you guys got kind of hooked up with. I think Jody's great. He's a great person. You know what I mean? Just as a guy, he's a great dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a good one. He's one of the few that can pull the double duty and come out the other side because he's such a good guy, but he can also get a little grimy in there. But
because he's genuine.
Yeah.
You know what he's saying is he ain't bullshitting because I don't think he has the capabilities to bullshit you.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. I don't think he has time for it. I mean, the guy's been shot in the face. He's over that shit. Like he's not gonna
only live once.
Yeah, he's not gonna give a bunch of weight to a bunch of bullshit. But
yeah,
I love old Jody B. So, are you contemplating? Are you gonna try to get out and do more guesting now, or are you just cool with the very rare and occasional? Because this has been excellent. I didn't know what to expect, but fuck, man, this has been awesome.
I know.
There's been no pressure at all. So I don't know the answer to that because I guarantee you tomorrow or right now I'll tell you, yeah, man, I want to get on, do as many podcasts as I can, and then tomorrow, fuck that, I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah. And then the next day, I'm like, oh, podcast, that'd be awesome. I'm up and down. I probably need some kind of fucking medication.
Nah.
I'm up and down. So I don't know. It all depends on how I feel.
Well, do you This is a funny question. I have to ask this, but do you even know or share your socials? Like, do you know them off the top of your head so you can give your
Or do
all
you
the
want
stuff
them
out?
out?
Or do you even want to give them out to? Because I feel like asking you, like most people, you're like, tell them where you're at, and they spit out everything. I'm thinking you're going to be like, I don't know. But,
Yeah, I don't. My Twitter handle is Villy Manilli,
Yeah.
but I can't remember how I spelled it.
I think
So,
it's like
yeah,
Billy underscore Manilli, maybe.
we'll put it in the show notes for you.
Yeah,
Brooke will put it
that's-
in the show notes.
Yeah.
She's a pro about show notes. I don't even know what they are. I don't even know how you do
Randall
them.
didn't even know where to see show notes, and I was like, God damn it, Randall.
What do you guys use for a podcast player?
Podbean is where we upload ours.
No, I mean when you listen to them.
Oh, when you listen to them,
Yeah.
we both have iPhones, so
Yeah,
I was
it's
iTunes.
Apple
so-
Podcasts. But yeah, I mean, I'm
Gotcha.
literally like, babe, you see these words under the where you play the podcast? That's
I don't have time
and you
for
hit
that.
details. That's all the show notes. And he's like,
I've got 700 favorite shows. I can't be reading show notes.
truth. Truth.
You ever listen to that? Reminds me. Do you ever listen to Man Brain podcast?
I have.
Uh-huh.
I've listened to Dave a lot.
So
I'll subscribe.
have you seen his show notes?
I've never looked at I've never looked at anyone's show notes. I'm gonna be honest.
It's
I don't
so-
even look at ours.
He just literally, I'm not kidding. He just literally found out even where they were.
But they're a
But
thing.
The show notes on the Man Brain podcast, probably by now, I don't know how many episodes they're in, but they could probably fill a novel.
Really?
I mean, I think that dude writes everything they say like a transcript.
Yeah,
There's so much.
I'm gonna go look.
I
now.
want to know. I would love to get into Dave's brain for like an hour, just an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a different cat. I love
He doesn't
Dave.
sleep.
Yeah, when does
Clearly.
he sleep?
I
That
don't know.
guy-
When I was on third shift, I would message him on Twitter, and he'd be up. I don't know what time it is in Australia when I'm on third shift, but he was the only one awake.
It's like 11 hours ahead of us, I think, and we're
that right?
Eastern. I think. I don't
so
know.
maybe when I was on third, it was like the middle of his day or whatever. But
Yeah, I don't know. I get confused still. I think it's like when we did the titty talk with them.
It's like 9 at night. Here, it was like
Here.
8:30 in the morning.
I thought it
there
was
or
like
something.
11 in
Or
the
like
morning there.
lunchtime.
Yeah, but I'm like, I always get so confused. But he's never not responding
No,
on.
I've never seen him miss a thread
There's
on
no-
these subgroups we're in and shit.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't get it, man.
He's in the thick all the time.
Uh-huh.
Dude's a soldier.
Right.
Well, cool, man. Well, this has been great, man.
For sure.
I'm all out of shit. I'm just glad you agreed to come on, and I hate that we were a few minutes late getting started tonight, but fuck,
Yeah, it's no big deal.
what a day.
You said I got to go. Whatever you said, I got to go get a air HVAC filter, whatever it was, and then I was like, asked my wife, I was like, you want to go get some ice cream? So we went and got some.
Oh.
It worked out good.
Yeah, it worked
Yeah.
out
Kids are
perfect.
at my parents' house. It worked out good.
Nice.
Nice, man. Well, you're welcome on here anytime, brother, and we appreciate you
appreciate
coming
that.
on, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. I
All right,
appreciate it.
brother. We'll see you later, man.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good night. See
you
ya.
too, brother. All right.
That was awesome.
That was
Well,
a great time.
Yeah, and again, like I could see him and you couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, weird. I forget about that.
Yeah.
So that is, you're like staring at somebody and I'm not.
Well, then he could see both of us on the thing.
Oh, cool.
And I was trying to turn the computer at one point. I think that's where like the cord something fucked up with it, and I was like, "Well, fuck that."
Yeah. What a good episode, though. You know, from
He's
time to
such a nice
time
guy.
you do a show. This one was one I had no idea what to expect,
Mm-hmm.
and you're pleasantly surprised. That went super quick. Fuck, we went long, right? We've been going only an hour. What'd we go?
An hour and 13.
Too long. Damn it. I thought we've been running right under an hour lately.
I know. Well, yeah, we were about to wrap it, and then you started saying something else. But yeah, I mean, we did good. That was fun. I really like him.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
enjoy
nice
them. So
guy.
check them out. We love those guys over at Who's Right
Or
podcast.
if you could take Doug's. I almost said Dave because we were just talking about Chappie, but you could take Doug's approach and be like, "Fuck those guys. They suck ass."
Yeah, Anthony sucks.
But yeah, it's hard to say that though because I really like them both.
I know. But fuck those guys. Out of love. But shout out to Dave. That is I love old Dave.
I know.
Glad he got mentioned there. Guy does write and fucking produce content like a manimal.
He never sleeps. I really don't think he ever sleeps.
What a beast.
I know.
In a good way, Dave. I'm not hurting your feelings. I think you're
We
a
love you,
beautiful
Dave.
beast.
You're a beautiful human. We
Yeah.
love you.
All right. Well, you guys hopefully enjoy it, and don't forget when you're out in public to fuck yourself.
Profusely.
Fuck you.